Movavi. Movavi.
Happy New Year's Eve, everyone, and hope you're having a great day. If you're celebrating the big holiday tonight with some drinking, please act responsibly and call for a taxi or a designated driver and make sure that you get home safely. But why we're here right now, talk a little bit about the Buffalo Bills. Had a big game against the New Jersey Jets and came home with, a victory. It was a close game. Not 40-14. 40. They were up 40-0, 40-0. And then Tyrod Taylor came in, and, we let him score a couple touchdowns because we like Tyrod. He's going to be a legend for the Bills in the next couple of years. Anyway, he'll come back and do the Legends of the Game, I'm sure, at some point. Yeah, what a blowout win. And here's some of the highlights. Greg Rousseau played unbelievable in this game and had a great game. And again, gets an assist on a turnover as he knocks the ball up in the air. And Jordan Phillips comes up with the big interception. Jordan Phillips deciding to run and then deciding not to. As he took the slide, I think he realized that's a long way to go. That's too far. So we'll slide here. Didn't even take an opportunity to look at anyone. And before we talk much more about Jordan Phillips, I got a little video to show you. So here of Jordan Phillips. So I took that video at the game, and wow, Jordan Phillips is so much fun. Obviously, he was getting held at some point in the game because they tore off the bottom of his jersey and his T-shirt, holding him at some point. But we love Jordan Phillips, and a big shout out to the fans here that watch this show that live in Texas, because I have a few fans down in Texas. Thanks you very much to the Dallas Cowboys for releasing Jordan Phillips and bringing him back, letting him come back home to play for his Buffalo Bills football team. And he's such a great cheerleader, too. He gets us growing during the games. James Cook had an average James Cook game. Josh Allen obviously had another fantastic game. He's got to be the lock for MVP. And you know how much I don't like that chant, and I hate it when people are yelling it. I particularly hate it when the Bills have the football and people are yelling MVP, and I let the people in my section know that. But at this game, I finally had to break down at the end of the game and join in with the MVP chants, because he certainly is the MVP. 5 sacks on the day for the Bills, I believe, maybe 5 or 6 even. But the defensive ends were playing good. Epinesa came up with a big safety and had another sack later in the game. As you before mentioned, Rousseau looked really good in the game. Ed Oliver had a good game. Von Miller come up with a sack. I mean, yeah, that's what we need. We need that kind of play during the playoffs here coming up from our defensive line. And I've been a big proponent of our defensive line. I love Coach West, the way he coaches them up. So hopefully we can continue to do that as, again, we head into the playoffs. The offensive line had a good game. Alec Anderson went down a couple of times. He also tried to get in a couple of big fights as the Jets were getting a little chippy during the game. Back on that video that I showed, that's the original audio on the video. I changed the audio on some short clips. If you want to go back and go to my page, you can watch those shorts. I've got one of Dwayne Carter dancing as well. Let's show that now. missing it. The guys are dancing. Let's go, Dwayne! Yeah! Dwayne Carter! Woohoo! You missing it. The guys are dancing. Let's go, Dwayne! Yeah! Dwayne Carter! Woohoo! So, obviously, the defensive line was big, full of energy before the game, too. We actually, when I started filming that, wanted to get Ed Oliver was dancing, but I missed that. But then Dwayne started in, so we did record that. And again, that's the original audio. I couldn't hear the music to get what the music was. I couldn't remember. But someone in the thread actually said what the music was. So I added my own little flavor of a dance song in there for Dwayne. And when I posted that short. So again, go look at those shorts and check them out. Give those shorts a like. Give this video a like. Please subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you'll know the next time I go live, and you can be here with us as well. I'll pull up my comments section, see who I've got here. Oh, Jamie. Jamie's here live with us. Yeah, we missed her at the last live. Good to have a New York live person with us. Hopefully we get some more people here. Shakir had a good game. Keon Coleman had a drop, but then he also had an amazing catch in the end zone. That touchdown with him jumping right in front of us for he got some air. That guy can jump. But my big thing on that was Ty Johnson standing right behind him, ready to catch it if he didn't catch it. Ty Johnson, that just shows who Ty Johnson is. He's always got everybody's back, no matter what. He's going to follow up every play and make sure his team gets every single thing out of him. So that really shows me Ty Johnson, that he's up there to make the catch as well. So if Keon had missed it, which he didn't, he got the touchdown. Cooper in the corner right in front of us too at the game. What an amazing catch he made. Came down hard. I thought maybe he might have hit his head when he came down. I think he just was winded a little bit, needed a second to recompose. He did say after the game that he hurt his tailbone and it was just a little sore. He's fine. Next game, I mean, when you blow a team out by 40, there's really only a lot of good things to say. But for once, we didn't have a special teams mistake in the game. Good on Coach Smiley to have a game where we didn't have any mistakes. There was a long kickoff return, but there was a penalty on the play, and I think Joe Andreessen actually would have made the tackle if there weren't for the penalty. So, who cares about that kick return? There was a lot to talk about this game before the game started. And one of the things I'm really proud about was I did tell Terrell Shavers, who we got the autograph from last week, that he was going to get a touchdown in this game. He got his first NFL catch in this game. And while the team was in the huddle and it was evident that they needed to throw a pass, even though they had been running, I was yelling, just throw the ball to Shavers. Just throw it to Shavers. Mostly because I wanted him to get a catch. I didn't know he was going to break it for a 69-yard touchdown. I'll admit that. But, boy, were all the people in my area impressed with me, because about the whole section heard me yelling that and turned around and said, you called that one. Yeah, Terrell Shavers had a great training camp, an amazing training camp. I thought he was going to make the roster this year, but they put him on the practice squad. I think he's going to be an amazing wide receiver for us next year and maybe even get some playing time in the playoffs here. Who knows? But I wish he would have made the regular season roster so he could have seen maybe some things like that during the season. So, yeah, we had that. He had a nice combo with Dwayne Carter. And, of course, the video that we showed there of him dancing. He had his hand his wrist that's been injured, a little bit more bandaged up this game, I noticed. Boy, the guys were in great spirits before the game, maybe just playing loose, and maybe that's what they need. Just, play relaxed and get out there and get the job done. As far as autographs, the only autograph I was able to get this game because it was pouring rain in the pregame. So really not able to get pieces of paper out or photos out to get autographed in the rain. It was coming down. But it did let up towards the end, and Terrence McGee, the legend of the game, did stop over and sign this for me. So there he is, Terrence. And boy, does he look a lot different now than he did during his playing days. A long hair, intimidating figure, but I don't think I would have been able to recognize him. But he did have his jersey on, and he was with the Legends folks, so it was pretty easy to know who he was. But he did a great job as the legend of the game. He actually stayed down on the field during the game and did some halftime things as well. I know a lot of players like to go up and watch the game. A lot of former legends like to go up, watch the game in a suite, and he stayed down there and did some other things for the Bills, giving out coaches awards and things like that. So, yes, the Jets did score in the game. They scored some late points with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. They needed our former Buffalo Bills quarterback to help them get down the field to score. So now we head into a game versus the Patriots to end the season, and we always have to take the next game up, but this game doesn't mean really anything to the Buffalo Bills. We have locked in the number 2 seed, which means if we win the first week, we will then host a game the second week. And if the Chiefs would happen to lose their game, then we would host the AFC Championship game if we win the first 2 games. So, but we take 1 week at a time in the playoffs, but you want to have those at least the 2 seed going in. So we're glad we have that locked up. But this week, what that means is we're going to see a lot of backup players versus the Patriots. And hi, Kelly. That's my cat, if you heard her. Versus the Patriots. And I think we'll see a lot of Joe Andreessen at linebacker. We may see a lot of Ulofoshio at linebacker. I think the 2 players that they'll call up from the practice squad will be Frank Gore Jr. and Davidson. Josh mentioned or Sean McDermott has already mentioned that Josh Allen will get the start for the game. I think that means he's going to play 1 series, and I think they won't play him behind a different offensive line. They're going to give him the offensive line. So all of our offensive line players will start. That's my opinion. And then they may bring in like a Dylan Gable and things like that as we go. I'm not sure who the 5 scratches will be for the week. Probably anybody that's got a little bit of a bang up. They just might want to take a week off before the playoffs. And with Frank Gore, if Frank Gore's a call-up, they will probably bench one of the running backs. I know Cook would like to get to 1,000 yards rushing. I think he needs like 40 yards, if I'm right. But we can't really worry about season records when we're heading into the playoffs. We've got to make sure we're ready for the playoffs. But Cook will probably get the start behind him. I know that Ty Johnson's been a little banged up during the season, at the start of the season, really, though. So maybe he won't get the play and Frank Gore will. I don't know. It's up to coaches, and that's why they get paid the big bucks. I do think that Josh Allen had mentioned, though, that he'd like to throw some passes. I'd like to have some touchdown passes caught by at least 1 different player so he can break that record during the year. So Davidson or Frank Gore would fulfill that, or Alec Anderson is a player that a lot of people have been wanting to get a touchdown pass reception, and maybe they'll do that versus the Patriots. We'll have to wait and see. Virgil would be another player that could get a touchdown. I don't know if Hamlin gets a call up. He could get one as well. So, 13 guys all catching touchdown passes during the season. One of them, of course, being Josh Allen when he caught his own touchdown pass. But that's pretty impressive. We definitely have taken up the everybody eats mentality. And even when you add a player in the middle of the year with Cooper, he's even taken up the everybody eats mentality. I've never seen our wide receivers and tight ends block as well as they have this season, and hopefully that continues. Because that's what everybody eats is about. That's helping the running backs too. And the running backs will help the receivers by giving good blocking when Josh needs it back there to give him a little more time to find them. So, yeah. In the pregame, had another good conversation with Kingsley Jonathan about Syracuse. I invited him to watch our YouTube channel right here, Pops Mafia. Hopefully he does that. Gave him one of our pins. So just another fun day out at Highmark. And we did a lot of dancing. No twerking, but dancing, yes. We did a lot of touchdown dances as we do the touchdown dance, which you can find in my videos if you'd like to see an example of the touchdown dance. And a fan behind us joined in, so I gave her one of our pins too. But when you put up 40 points, you're doing a lot of dancing. Question did come up for the safety. Did they play the Shout song? So I had to dance to that too. No, they did not. They played Safe to Dance. If you want to, and you ain't no not control. So there is a video already of the dancing. As someone want the Pops Mafia dance. I'm not going to do it live, but you can go watch it on my page. You can find it on there. Again, everyone, please like and subscribe to this video. Hey, Brett, if you ask people to join you to play PUBG, it's good if you're actually there with us. Would love to play with you again, but when you ask people to join you, play with you, it'd be good if you played with us too. Just to mention that on the side, as Brett's in the room here. Yeah, so we're heading into the playoffs as the 2 seed. Big games this weekend. I can't wait to watch Detroit and Minnesota on Sunday night. One team gets the 1 seed, the other team gets the 5 seed and has to play on the road. That's crazy. You were the one that said to play. So that's just crazy in the NFC. I don't really follow the NFC, obviously, as much as the AFC, because the only way the NFC will really affect us in the long run is if we play them in the Super Bowl, and then I'll do some research on them at that point. But the Bills look very healthy right now. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. They picked up no new injuries from this game, although I did again see Alec Anderson go down a couple of times during the game. I think he was getting some cheap shots from the Jets, to tell you the truth. Oh, in the pregame, I asked every single Jets player as they came out if they knew the teenage owner, because I wanted to make sure that they knew that they have a teenage owner. As the man that owns the team is apparently, according to Aaron Rodgers, letting teenagers make the decisions. So I wanted to, and then when younger Jets people came out with Jet stuff on, I asked them if they were the teenage owner. So I was just having fun with the Jets. Who do I think the Bills will play in the first game? I do think they're going to play the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos could have actually clinched a playoff spot if they just didn't call timeouts in overtime. The clock would have run out, but they gave the ball back to the Bengals, and the Bengals kicked. So, and they won the game. So now the Broncos have to beat the Chiefs. Now you're going, they're not going to beat the Chiefs. Well, actually, earlier this year, they should have beat the Chiefs on a last-second field goal, I think was blocked. But the Chiefs have already announced that none of their starters are playing in the game. So they're going to go with backups. So with the backups, hopefully the Broncos will win. Now, if the Broncos lose, then the Fish may actually play the Fish again. We've already beaten the Fish twice. I've already seen the Fish. I don't really want to see the Fish again just because that's boring. I don't want to watch the Fish again. But if the Fish make the playoffs, it might be good for us because then they'll probably decide they want to keep their coach. And I don't think their coach is very good. The Fish are the Dolphins. We don't want to play the Fish. We squish the Fish. Yeah, come on. You don't know that the Dolphins are the Fish? Come on. You're obviously not a Bills fan. Yeah. So 8-0 at home this year. Can't beat that. You're 8-0 for only the third time in team history. They go undefeated at home and undefeated in the AFC East as we took out I guess we're not undefeated for the season yet because we still have to play the Patriots. But the quote earlier this year from Deion Dawkins that I thought was great was, anytime you play a team in your division, anytime you play an AFC East team, whether it's the Patriots or the Jets or even the Dolphins, he said, it's going to be a tough one. So Josh Allen will start the game. He will play one series, I would bet. They've already announced he is going to play, but he will only play the first week. It's very important to Josh Allen to have the game started streak continued. He takes a lot of pride in that he has been able to stay healthy for a while and be able to be there, because he says, the best skill you can give your team is availability. I believe he words it a little bit differently, but he has been available all year. So got to love that he's willing to go back out there. Now, they're not going to do the Campbell thing that Detroit did last night and play everybody all game and play hard. They are going to be making massive substitutions. And I wish they could call up more than 2 people, because they would probably call up the entire practice squad if they could. But again, I think it'll be Frank Gore and Davidson that get the call up, so we can sit a tight end and sit a running back and make sure that they're fresh for the playoffs. And then other guys that are not on the practice squad but that have been healthy scratches all year, like Gable and other people like that, will get the start, or might not get the start, but they will get the majority of the playing time. Ulofoshio and Anderson, for example, out there at linebacker. Micah Hyde will not play. Coach has already come out and said Micah Hyde will not be one of the call-ups for this game. I think Micah Hyde is just here basically as another coach at this point, because I think if a safety went down, they would still go with Jackson or Lewis sign, however you say his last name, to be the safeties if they needed to. But Bishop's been a good backup safety. I think that Taylor Rapp's been nursing an injury. They may bench him. I think they're going to want to get DeMar Hamlin back on the field. I think he's going to be healthy enough to play. Curtis Samuel, I think, is going to be healthy enough to play too. So they may want to just get DeMar Hamlin back out there, because he hasn't played in a while, to get him some snaps under his belt. So at safety, so he may play out there with Bishop. But we'll see. All we can do is wait and see to who we play with the Patriots. Not really concerned, although it's nice for the guys that haven't been getting a lot of playing time to be able to get out there, and I'll cheer for them for sure. Hopefully Kingsley Jonathan, who's become one of my favorite players on the practice squad, or is my favorite player on the practice squad, especially now that Eli Anku was released. We love to see Kingsley every week, and hopefully he gets to start out there. So, yeah, I mentioned that I told Shavers before the game, and that I called the touchdown before the play. I told him before the game he was going to get a touchdown, and then before the play I said it was going to be right now, even though it was a 69-yard touchdown. I also did tell Javon Solomon here, as you see him smiling behind me, that he would get a sack, and he didn't. So I can't call everything, right? Although I do call the wallet game they show on the video board, right, every week before they even play it. Anyway, with that, we've gone 24 minutes of me rambling about the Buffalo Bills. Hopefully, again, everybody have a great New Year's Eve and be safe out there. That's very important tonight. It's very important. The Popo's going to be out. The DWIs are going to be high. And I really hope I don't see things about an accident where anybody got injured or, God forbid, passed away tonight. So if you are drinking, find a safe way to get home, and we'll go with that, because you know why? Because God loves you! God loves you! And so do I! Go Bills!
Movavi. Movavi.
You're missing it. The guys are dancing. Let's go, Dwayne! Yeah! Dwayne Carter! Woohoo!
Valley. Mo Valley.